Okay. Welcome to part 18 of the Metal Gear Solid playthrough. Okay, so we've inserted card 1 and card 2. Now we're about to enter card 3, which is the hot card key, and finally deactivate, Metal Gear as an entirety being. So no more Metal Gear. So then what?
The series ends here.
Right. So then why is there 2 more parts after this?
No, why?
Ready for launch.
I deactivated it.
No, you activated it.
Yep.
Snake, now the detonation code is completed. Nothing can stop Metal Gear now.
Master,
Shoot.
what's going on?
Oh, man.
Found the key, and even activated.
Who would have guessed? This entire time we were actually activating Metal Gear instead of deactivating it.
Sorry to have involved you in that silly shape memory alloy.
Man.
Master, how could you?
What are you talking about?
We weren't able to learn the DARPA chief's code. Even with Mantis' psychic powers, he couldn't read his mind. Then Ocelot accidentally killed him during the interrogation. In other words, we weren't able to launch the nuclear device, and we were all getting a little worried. Without the threat of a nuclear strike, our demands would never be met.
What do you mean?
Without the detonation codes, we had to find some other way. That's when we decided you might prove useful, Snake.
What?
First, I thought we might get the information from you, Snake, so I had Decoy Octopus disguise himself as the DARPA chief. Unfortunately, Octopus didn't survive the encounter, thanks to Fox Die.
You mean you had this plan from the beginning, just to get me to input the detonation code?
Huh? You didn't think you made it this far by yourself, did you?
What?
What the hell are you?
The launch preparations are complete. Once the world glimpses the power of this weapon, the White House will have no choice but to surrender the Fox Die vaccine to me. Their ace in the hole is useless now.
Ace in the hole?
The Pentagon's plan to use you was already successful in the torture room. Snake, you're the only one who doesn't know. Ah, poor fool.
Who are you anyway?
I'll tell you everything you want to know. If you come where I am, that is.
Where are you?
Very close by.
Snake, that's not Master Miller.
Campbell, you're too late.
Master Miller's body was just discovered at his home. He's been dead for at least 3 days. I didn't know because my codec link with Master was cut off, but Mei Ling said his transmission signal was coming from inside the base.
So who is it?
Snake, you've been talking to...
Me, dear brother.
What?
Yep.
How the... You've served your purpose. You may die now.
We've been talking with Liquid Snake this entire time.
We were talking to Liquid.
Yep.
With water.
Wow.
Plot twist. Yep,
I love stuff like that.
Yep. Miller was never with us. It was all Liquid. He was manipulating us from the beginning to get him to activate Metal Gear from the very start. Damn. And that is kind of one thing I've had heard, like, think about it. If Snake died during that thing, there goes the plan, you know?
Snake, opening the door.
From the justification that I can think of that plot hole, at least, is that, Liquid is wanting to test Snake's abilities and strengths and all that. So he's throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at him. Just to see how worthy of an opponent he is, you know?
Did you like my sunglasses? You'd point a weapon at your own brother?
Why did you disguise yourself as Master?
So I could manipulate you more easily. And you performed quite well, I must say. Although the boys at the Pentagon are probably saying the same thing.
What the hell are you talking about?
Following orders blindly with no questions asked, you've lost your warrior's pride and become nothing more than a pawn snake.
What?
Stopping the nuclear launch, rescuing the hostages, it was all just a diversion.
A diversion?
The Pentagon only needed for you to come into contact with us. That's what killed the Arms Tech president and decoy octopus.
You don't mean...
That's right. You were sent here to kill us so they could retrieve Metal Gear undamaged, along with the bodies of the Genome soldiers. From the beginning, the Pentagon was just using you as a vector to spread Fox dye.
Fox dye? It can't be.
See, that's the thing with Fox dye. It's a virus that only infects specific people. It's programmed into it. So
it's just a bioweapon.
yeah, like Snake is essentially a walking bioweapon, and they would eventually build off of that in Solid 4. But for this game, they had him go in there not knowing that he was the vector of Fox dye to basically spread it to, you know, Liquid, Ocelot, all the rest of them. And that's what killed Decoy Octopus and the Arms Tech president. It's basically he was given that not only as an act of revenge from like Naomi. Well, like Naomi basically put herself into the position to do that. It was really the Pentagon did it so they would cover up the tracks of everything that is happening right now.
Why is that?
So nobody would know. It's a shadow operation, if you will.
We must have all been exposed to the virus. It's true that the Arms Tech president and decoy octopus were killed by Fox dye. But Ocelot, myself, and you, the carrier, were apparently unaffected.
A bug in the virus's programming?
Could be. In any case, if it doesn't kill you, then I'm not worried either. After all, our genetic code is identical.
So it's true. You and I are...
Yes, twins. But we're not ordinary twins. We're twins linked by cursed genes. Les enfants terribles. You're fine. You got all the old man's dominant genes. I got the flawed recessive genes. Everything was done so that you would be the greatest of his children. The only reason I exist is so they could create you.
I was the favorite, huh?
That's right. I'm just the leftovers of what they used to make you. Can you understand what it's like to know that you're garbage since the day you were born?
Well, I don't know why, but this. I mean, I honestly, I could probably guess why. But this reminds me of that movie Gattaca.
Gattaca?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
I remember watching it in my biology class back in high school, but it's this movie that takes place in like kind of a dystopian future, where in this future they have the technology to basically pick and choose what kind of genes your child has. So when someone's pregnant in this future, they literally have the option while their child is still like developing in the womb, to just like pick and choose what kind of genes he'll have. And it follows this one guy who his parents had 2 children, him and his older brother. His older brother got like all the awesome genes of like, hey, you're gonna be like an all-star athlete, you'll have like amazing stamina, things like that, and then he just was born naturally without any modifications. And so this is just reminding me of that.
Yeah, no, it's what they call eugenics. I gave a botched definition of it like earlier in the playthrough, but it's essentially it's like they rearranged the genes in the DNA of the reproduction to basically, get desirable traits and things out of the the product of what you do. And so that's essentially Snake never knew that for the longest time, but Liquid knew of it. But yeah, the reason why Snake and Liquid are twins is because they are products of a eugenics experiment back in the 70s. And so they'll elaborate further on it in the next part. But it's essentially where I get to say my tangent about the prequel trilogy and its shortcomings. Well, at least the latter two games of the prequel trilogy, because Solid 3 is actually a good game, but it's set in the 60s, and so the Les Enfants Terribles project, which Liquid is talking about, happens in 72. So you'd think, oh, the next game will show exactly what happens in the fallout from, actually, we get to watch it, Nope. Peace Walker is set in 1974, 2 years after. So we don't actually get to see the Les Enfants Terribles actually happening. There's a cameo of like a young Liquid Snake in Solid 5, but he's primarily just there for the cameo's sake. It's just to say, hey, Liquid is in this timeline. We're kind of canon, I think. And here's Psycho Mantis again too, but as a child. So, I don't know what they were trying to do with Solid 5's case, because like, Bryan, you have played a bit of Solid 5, right? Bryan, briefly.
Yes, very little.
And you know of the stupid plot twist, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Solid 5 has this plot twist where you're like near the beginning of the game, like you conk out, like your helicopter explodes with you on it and stuff like that. Then you wake up from a coma, and then suddenly you're no longer David Hayter, the voice actor of Snake. You're suddenly Keith Sutherland. Essentially, what that all boils down to, like the big plot twist at the end of Solid 5, is you have not been playing as Big Boss the entire game. You've been playing as this other guy who is also on the chopper. And Big Boss has just been somewhere on the other part of the world. Great. It's great. Because we thought Big Boss was supposed to be like throughout the entirety of Solid 5, because they kind of changed the gameplay formula up to where like you actually build armies and stuff like that, which is essentially Big Boss's whole shtick. He's the guy that created the Militaire Sans Frontières, the army without borders and stuff. So you think throughout the entirety of that game would be doing exactly that, building that army without borders. Nope, it was just some other guy who has no connection with Big Boss whatsoever, and that game will never get its actual conclusion, because it was supposed to be like a 3-chapter thing, but only chapters 1 and chapter 2 got released. Kind of like Sonic 4. Only episode 1 and 2 got released, and no episode 3 because of development issues and stuff like that. Because that was around the same time Kojima left the Konami Industries, and you can kind of tell in the story writing as well that they did not have good relationships with one another anymore. So it'd be nice to see a conclusion, maybe, because I think Carlos asked, how does it feel not to get another Metal Gear Solid game? It's more or less. I feel like its story's been told, but at the same time, Solid 5, we'd like to see the ending of that. But given it's the end of the prequel trilogy, we know how things play out in the future.
So it is you.
The terrible Snake. You haven't aged well.
I'll send you back
to hell! Mega Man X?
What up, Deep Throat?
What do you want from me?
Oh, you figured it out.
Oh yeah, I read the subtitles.
Oh, you read the subtitles? Oh.
What about Naomi?
See, I don't even read my own subtitles.
Can't hear the game, so the subtitles are all I have.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I'm the one who killed her parents. I was young then and couldn't bring myself to kill
It kind of feels like any twist that they could have come up with, they just wanted to throw at the game.
Yeah.
More
Like, at
or
this
less.
point, it just feels like they're just throwing twists at us to just for the woe factor. It's like next thing you know, Psycho Mantis eats McDonald's. It's like, what?
It's to tie up loose ends, and you know, if you look at it through the entire, you know, the series as a whole, you can learn to appreciate the character development they give for Solid 1 and Solid 2, and Solid 4 to an extent. But with all the other games, they don't really have any emphasis on character building at all. Or like, and I mean that in the sense that like they give every major character, even the bosses, like a personality and a backstory and all that. Because in Solid 3 and part of Solid 4, they only give development to the characters that need it, not all of them.
Imagine in like a few years in this timeline that Gray Fox could probably just soloed the fucking Metal Gear.
Maybe.
I mean, Raiden solos the Metal Gear.
Yeah, Raiden does a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, he solos the Metal Gear with ease. And then, like a few more years, this fucker could have done the same thing.
Yeah. Does Metal Gear Rising ever say what year the game takes place?
All I know is that the end of the game. Like,
Huh.
I mean, the end of the timeline. That's all I know because.
Oh, that's all you know? You don't know like the year that it is in?
No.
Okay. Well, Solid 4 is set in 2014. So I'd assume it'd be after 2014 then.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, this little cinematic thing, you can't actually shoot even if you hit the fire button. Snake just says, "No, I can't do it." It's basically trying to say that Snake, you know,
Was a bitch.
no, he's changed his heart, kind of, and so he does not want to pull the trigger. Especially, you know, Gray Fox was his best friend back in the old times.
Saying is Meryl made him weak.
Don't you mean Meryl made him humble? Not weak.
Andrew Tate would say the same thing.
Fucking Squidward walk.
Oh shit! He has been summoned.
Yes.
Finally woke up from his nap.
Yay!
No, fucking work was a fucking clusterfuck today.
Oh. Well, sorry to hear that. Gray Fox is dead. Rest in peace, brother.
And it found him. You see, you can't protect anyone, not even yourself.
I liked him.
Yes, Brian. It's just like anime. They kill off your favorite character. So yeah, this is phase 2 of the Metal Gear boss fight. Basically, what you want to do is stay as close as possible. It doesn't seem like the best thing to do, just, you know, thinking about it. But as you can see right now, staying close, pretty much staying underneath the Metal Gear is basically the best way to take care of him. Because the farther you actually get away from Metal Gear, the more relentless he is. Because he also has rockets. He can fire rockets out of his kneecaps, and that's not a good thing.
One of the things that just kind of have to go in balls deep.
Right. Almost literally. Oh, man.
With the second boss of Dark Souls 3.
Deep Throat was still here. He would have excelled at this.
Wait, there's what?
Bro.
Huh?
He would have excelled at this, going for the dick. I'm trying to make Deep Throat jokes, you guys. You're not giving me anything.
God damn it. Well, it doesn't help that your mic keeps cutting out.
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't.
sorry.
I don't think it's a you thing. I think it's just a Discord thing.
Discord,
more or less.
Discord always fucking struggles.
Yeah, this is better than Skype.
Fair.
We had a whole thing about Skype last part.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is part 18, Cam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
2 more parts to go after this.
right. So you're thinking, if there's 2 more parts, can this really be the final boss? It's Metal Gear after all, the thing the game's named after.
Metal Gear.
Well, apparently, you thought Metal Gear was Solid Snake.
Fuck you. Let's never forget that, Brian. Brian?
He's dead.
I think he's too embarrassed.
Yeah.
Forget about what?
Oh, Brian thought Snake's name was
Brian
Metal Gear.
mistakes Solid Snake's name with Metal Gear.
That's the same type of energy to thinking Samus's name is Metroid.
Right? No, silly.
That's like saying. I think I've made this comparison before. That's like saying Sam Fisher's name is Splinter Cell.
Wait, no, it's not. No.
It's not Splinter Cell? Then who is Splinter? I would love there to be a character in the game that is called Splinter Cell.
It's just called Splinter and just see fucking Splinter from TMNT.
No, I saw you. No, wait, it's Splinter from TMNT and Cell from Dragon Ball.
It's a mass fusion of that.
Oh man.